right, this is Pete Nine, singer for WOLFSKULL.
Yes, and my name is Feratu, and I'm the guitarist of the band, one of the guitarists.
Very nice, guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. So WOLFSKULL released your second album, Midnite Masters, on July the 25th. So how are you feeling about it, guys? About not long now.
Yeah, it's the promo is really working well, and yeah, I think we really looking forward to the day. And we have on the same day we have a live show in our hometown, an open air festival, and so I think this will be a great day. And we have some ideas for the days before. We will have maybe a secret listening session. So some people are joining us, and some people can buy the stuff, and we will present the new album. So yeah, will be a cool time in the next weeks.
Yeah. Sweet. Now, can you tell us a bit more about the album from a musical point of view and what you were going for with it?
Yeah, I think this time around we were more keen on having a dusty rock and roll record with more up-tempo songs than Ave Goddess. But there's still a hint of melancholy here and there, especially with Destina and one instrumental. But it's mostly a straight rock and roll record, I guess. Rock and roll, kind of heavy rock, yeah.
Yeah. Now, to date, you've released the singles Jaguarette and Holler in the Hollow. So are they a good sonic representation of what to expect from the whole album?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So last Friday we released the third single, Midnite Masters, the title track, and it's also in the vein of kind of Holler in the Hollow, straightforward, good melodies, a lot of hooks, and catchy vocals. So yeah.
That'll do. Now, you recorded these songs initially back in September last year. So by the time they come out, they'll be nearly 12 months old. So what's that period like for you guys? Like, do you listen back to it and think you might have done this differently, or you could have done that better, or do you put it to bed once it's finished and it is what it is?
I think we were very happy. That is what I can remember when we entered the studio. And it was a very joyful recording session. And we really liked doing that at that time. And of course, it takes a long while to do the mixing and the preparation for the promotion and all that. There's a bit of time and a bit of waiting. But most of the time, we were kind of joyful, really. So it was a great time we had in the career of the band so far. Conceiving the songs and making the album, it was all very intense and joyful.
I would say, looking back to the last September and listening to the songs today, I for myself would say that I wouldn't change anything. So I think we did the best for the songs, and we achieved a very, very good recording, and the final tunes are really worked out well for me, and yeah, that's the point for us.
Yeah, you sort of touched on this a little bit before, but how does this album differ musically to your debut album, Ave Goddess, that came out in 2022?
Yeah, I think we wanted to have more straightforward songs, a little bit more rock songs that are not so kind of mellow, but we wanted to have more dust, more rock, more kick ass, and I think without losing the typical trademarks of WOLFSKULL, and I think you can find them in any song. So yeah, that was the direction we thought we wanted to go, and I think we find now a really how do you say an album that is that is working each song with
Yeah,
the other song.
it seems that we found our formula, maybe so to speak, you know, and this could be the path we would love to stay on and keep on doing that. But I still love the Ave Goddess record because it was a very complex record, and it had many different styles we combined there, and it was a time of Corona, a time of crisis, and there was a lot of creativity surrounding that kind of atmosphere, but it was more saddening for a few songs, and it was more of the moodiness of that record and the melancholy that we had there because of the crisis going on in the whole world. And this time around, it was more like, okay, let's go and let's rock it because we're happy that we're together and we want to keep on doing that. You know, there was more happiness to Midnite Masters, I guess.
Yeah, sure. And the artwork of the album, it is strangely captivating, guys. Like it's got a full moon with a couple of floating naked women circling it. Like how does that tie in with the actual album?
Yeah, this Pete had the main idea for this cover artwork, and yeah, you can say something.
I think to have kind of women in their sexiness and their kinkiness, this has always been a big part of rock and roll from a male perspective, so to say. And I think WOLFSKULL will always be about strong female characters. Like Ave Goddess was a very dark and spooky character. We wanted to have a little more lightness, and that's why we choose two girls kind of playing like a couple or like in a dancing mood, like in a female quality kind of ornament to stand the test of time, because I think the female quality will always be a great part of our songwriting in a way.
Yeah,
so it's an homage to female greatness. So that's why it came into my head to have that ornament.
That's exactly what I thought it was too, mate. So well done.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, band formed in Germany back in 2018, guys. So we don't know too much about the German music scene here in Australia. So what's the musical climate like over there in that time and that they birthed the band, and where did you sort of fit in initially?
I think the city of Essen, where you grew up in, was always a city of metal and punk and really hard music. That's what I can say as someone who didn't live his whole life in Essen. But I grew up a few kilometers more in the north, and we as young children, as metal kids or punk rock kids, we always considered, especially Essen, where you grew up, as a typical kind of metal neighborhood. And I think it takes a great influence on people who grew up there like you to join that kind of scene.
Yeah, we have the band's creator, Sodom, is living in Essen, and yes, they were thrash metal bands. And when I started playing music in the early 90s, there were punk rock and hardcore. And after that, Pete and I, we joined or we created the band The Spook, which was kind of a Misfits flavor horror punk band, and we did it for more than 10 years. And I think the vibes we had in the early days, we always kept. And now with WOLFSKULL, we have a flavor that is just happening when we write music. And there's always a kind of creepiness, melancholy, a little bit of maybe horror stories, and what Pete said about female characters. That's I think that's the main thing about growing up and developing one's own music style here.
Everywhere in the world, mate. Do you guys have any shows coming up to promote the album?
Yeah, as I said, there's the record release show, which is called Nord Open Air in in Essen here, which is a festival which takes place every year. And we have a show planned in November, which is sometime in the future. And we are working right now for some more shows for the release. So there are no dates fixed now, but we will post them online in the near future.
Very nice. Now, before we let you go, guys, I've got a new segment I've started called Photo Bomb. So basically, I've trolled through your social media before we've had a chat, and I found a few photos that I just want to talk about a bit more. So I've found this one, guys. Like, do you remember what venue this was in? Like, that looks like an insane venue.
Okay. Yeah, this was in Hamburg, which is called, I think, the Fabrik. Is it correct, Pete?
I didn't
we
quite
played
get it.
with the Hamburg
There was
show.
something wrong with the transmission, I guess. I'm sorry. I didn't quite understand what you were talking about.
Oh, this photo in the background is from the show we played with Skid Row, and this is in Hamburg, and I think the club is called Fabrik.
Fabrik, yeah,
Fabrik.
Crowd's practically on top here. Playing in a place like that.
Yeah, this is really we had the offer to play with Skid Row. I think they told us 4 or 5 days ago before, and we joined them and had 2 shows with them, and each shows were packed with, I think, maybe 800 people, and we had a really good show, really good time playing this.
Nice. Now I've found another one that's a little bit different to that one. What's going on here? You look like you're about to punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, Pete.
Like you get ready to give him a big uppercut.
I didn't quite understand.
So what's going on in that photo? It looks like you're about to punch him straight in the mouth.
Yeah, it could happen from time to time. But he is a trained boxer. Maybe I would be his victim, but I'm not sure.
It's perfect.
Someday I'm going to punch him. It's only a matter of time, because this is what rock and roll is all about, isn't it? Making the first strike.
Now he knows it's coming, though. You've given him warning.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of whenever we get together in the band, we are always having a lot of fun and having a great time, and there's no place for aggression.
Damn straight, brother.
We're almost like friends, almost like family.
Very nice. All right, gentlemen. Well, thanks very much for your time. The album Midnite Masters is out July the 25th, and she's a bloody good album, guys. So congratulations and best of luck with everything.
Yeah,
thank you so much.